Star Citizen's getting a new inventory. It's a good day, and I'm going to show you kind of what it's bringing to the game and what it's not bringing to the game. Now, we have this inventory concepts you can see here from last year in, I think, July. So at that time, obviously we saw the concept art, and like everybody usually thinks with Star Citizen, well, when? Here we are 6 or so months later, and it is actually in our hands. I've played with it in the tech preview. I'm going to tell you everything it does and doesn't have from this picture itself, and what the heck it's bringing to the game, how it's going to change things. I'll tell you straight up, the first thing we don't have from this picture are these stats. This is probably the kind of stuff that's still waiting for crafting and things to come by, but everything else here is pretty much in. 1-to-1. Starting from the top here, we do have these tabs, and what these tabs do for us in the current game, this is in the tech preview, lets you see every inventory in your area. So the biggest change is area looting. Any box that's within about 3 meters of you or so, you can access. You can see here there are 3 boxes listed here. I did this exact same thing in the game. I had 3 boxes around me, and I was able to access all 3 of those inventories from both sides of the screen, while also accessing my personal inventory. The nice part was you could have one box over here and the other box here. You could have your personal here and a box here. It didn't really matter. You could switch as you needed. You couldn't keep the same box open that somebody else had, so you couldn't sit there and have that box open while they did. But this still is going to change logistics a ton when it comes to, say, running a bunker or running a dungeon or something where you're with a bunch of people. You could have one person in between all the boxes who's doing the organizing and getting everything together, and they're the ones who make sure everything gets out on time and intact. Your loot monkey, your box monkey, so to speak. Now, as far as the interface goes, this is just about everything else you're getting. You got the name up here. You have a select all button here, which actually changes to move all when you do have things selected. There's a search button, so you can search anything in your inventory now or anything in the boxes. Oh, which is so nice. You can access the different sections of your inventory. So your chest, if you have a box on you or something, you got leg armor or all. So that allows you to see everything. It's kind of like the looting menu. In fact, it is the looting menu, just expanded into an inventory. It actually uses the same colors, the same sounds, the same kind of animations. You can tell it's the same UI, but expanded to a full inventory, and it's exactly what I thought they were going to do. The looting menu is a Squadron 42 inventory. That's why we got it early. That's why it was in place already. It's probably mostly what we're going to use for an FPS shooter where you're not doing crafting and looting. I mean, you're doing some looting, but you're not like getting all this kind of stuff that you need in this game, which is why this one took a while. You do get all of this stuff. All of the filters up here are the same way it looks in this picture. You can clear out the filters. You can stack all. There is a stack all button. It was kind of on and off in terms of functionality for me. I think there were definitely times where it felt like the server was lagging, but overall, it's still just performing like Evocati, and the stack all functionality was hit or miss. So it's there and it works. It's just kind of iffy. Obviously, tech preview. The sorting options were nice. You could sort things based on the sizes you had. You could sort them on the name of the item or the name of the type of item they were, all the way from A to Z. So that was pretty cool. Filtering, sorting, searching is like the kind of stuff you want in an inventory. On top of that, having local environmental looting, proximity-based access to looting is a huge change, kind of like you'd expect from something like DayZ. Obviously, these little graphical indications of what you're equipping and where the things sit on your body is helpful. It's like, it's always been a little bit hard to select the specific items off your body and drag them off if you needed to. So these circles have actually been really nice for equipping things. It's all pretty responsive. It's pretty quick. It's definitely faster than the old inventory. I will say, for rendering items on screen, it doesn't all come immediately. It still kind of loads in over a couple of seconds. But a lot of it does come immediately, and it's certainly an improvement. Still plenty of space to go, but this is how it looks, and it works mostly how you would expect. I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing is the proximity looting has been really nice. I like that you can change which box is in which panel, so you could do a lot of logistics and organization that way. You've got all your keyboard shortcuts, your double click, your shift to click, your right alt plus click to drop items. Just a lot of quality of life improvements to an inventory system that's much needed. And there are some indicators that are popping up. I'm going to hold off on judging that because I think they were a little bit broken. There are like little numbers in here that I do think are supposed to correspond to the weapon that they can be attached to. So like number 1 goes to your number 1 weapon and number 2 to your number 2 weapon. But sometimes it would say, like right here, number 3 doesn't have a weapon, but there's a number 3 here. So I wasn't sure if it was like a glitch or I was missing something. Obviously, the tier indicators are not in yet. The quality indicators are not in yet. These are things that would come with crafting. And I do wonder if the next tech preview we see, which they did want to delay this to be in, but they decided not to, will include crafting. And we start to see these qualities interacting with the inventory and how the heck that's all going to work with 1,000 levels of quality per commodity. The equipment panel down here was nice. This is all your loadouts and stuff, which I think will be key because that's going to indicate what you see in your suit lockers when you start equipping stuff here. The nice part about this bit was that when you are accessing stuff in your inventory, just like in the looting menu, it actually highlights the weapon that stuff can be attached to and the spot it can go into. So a lot of times with the old inventory, you'd be scrolling through, you'd see all these attachments and stuff, but you're not really sure which attachment goes to which gun. Even if you don't need to know in that moment, just like seeing that indication as you're interacting with the inventory reminds you every time to the point where you know what goes with what. I think those sorts of little transient information exchanges we get from the game are important things that like you don't get until a game gets polished. Well, starts polishing. Overall, this is more than a facelift. This is not just a visual overhaul. This has a ton of functionality included. Search on its own is big, but filters are huge. On top of that, proximity looting is great, but being able to access multiple boxes at the same time is big. And I didn't get to try it, but I'm assuming that also means bodies. So having a bunch of bodies and boxes near you and being able to collect the stuff you need to from them quickly, this is my area of gameplay. So I am really excited to see how this can speed things up and make them more efficient. This year, we're chugging, man. It feels good. It's nice to see some important features making some big steps forward. I'm probably suffering from the immediate overwhelming joy of a new inventory, and there are problems with this, so I'll follow it as it goes through the tech preview and gets into the PTU. There are definitely some problems with like the stability of it and its responsiveness, but I'm excited for what we're seeing at this first step. Either way, I hope you got something from this. I'll see you in the next one.